Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. A Delhi court on Thursday granted bail to Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in a money laundering case stemming from the alleged excise scam. Special Judge Nyai Bindu granted the relief to the AAP leader on a personal bond of 1 lakh rupees. The court also declined the Enforcement Directorate's request to stay the order for 48 hours. The judge passed the order after hearing arguments advanced by the prosecution and the defense counsel on Kejriwal's application for regular bail. The court had on Wednesday extended the judicial custody of Kejriwal in the case till 3rd July. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi Thursday launched a scathing attack on the government over the alleged irregularities in NEET and cancellation of UGC NET and said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has psychologically collapsed post-elections and will struggle to run a government. Addressing a press conference Delhi, he also said educational institutions are being captured by the RSS and the BJP and paper leaks will not stop unless that is reversed. It was being said Prime Minister Modi stopped the Ukraine-Russia war and Israel-Gaza war, but he is either not able to stop exam paper leaks or doesn't want to, Gandhi said. He claimed that during his Bharat Jodo Nyay Yatra, thousands complained about paper leaks. There has been an expansion of idea of Vyapam to rest of country, he said of the recent controversy while referring to the Vyapam examination and recruitment scam in Madhya Pradesh. Nothing should be done in arbitrary manner. Rules that apply to one paper should apply to another, Gandhi said. He also said that the opposition will raise the exam paper leaks issue in Parliament. A massive row has erupted on the medical entrance exam NEET over alleged irregularities, with the issue now before the Supreme Court. On Wednesday night, the Union Education Ministry ordered the cancellation of the UGC NET following inputs that the exam's integrity may have been compromised and handed over the matter to the CBI for an investigation.
शिक्षा का सिस्टम है उसको एक संगठन ने कैप्चर कर रखा है, अपने लोगों को हर पोस्ट पे यही डालते हैं। वाइस चांसलर्स की लिस्ट निकाल लीजिए, पता लग जाएगा। तो इसको रिवर्स करना होगा। दूसरी बात, मैनिफेस्टो में हमने साफ कहा कि पेपर लीक होने के बाद कार्रवाई करना एक बात है, बहुत जरूरी है और स्ट्रिक्ट से स्ट्रिक्ट कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, मगर हमने यह भी कहा था कि पेपर लीक होने से पहले जो सिस्टम्स हैं, जो यूनिवर्सिटी के एग्जाम्स के रूल्स हैं, सिस्टम्स हैं, इनको फिर से असेस करना पड़ेगा, इनको स्टडी कर कर रीडिजाइन करना पड़ेगा। अगर आप आइडियोलॉजिकल लोगों को वाइस चांसलर बनाएंगे, इनकेपेबल लोगों को वाइस चांसलर बनाएंगे, एग्जाम्स के जो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, एग्जाम लेने के स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं, उनमें आप आइडियोलॉजिकल लोगों को डालेंगे तो ये काम होगा। ये इसका सबसे बड़ा कारण बीजेपी एंड इट्स पेरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने जो कैप्चर किया है ये है। और अगर आप कल्प्रिट ढूंढना चाहते हैं तो मैं आपको बताता हूं, जिन लोगों ने हिंदुस्तान के इंस्टीट्यूशंस को डिस्ट्रॉय किया है, जो पहले ऑब्जेक्टिव हुआ करते थे, इम्पार्शियल हुआ करते थे, वो आज इम्पार्शियल नहीं है, ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं है, आइडियोलॉजिकल बना दिए गए हैं और मीडियोकर लोगों को इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में बैठा दिया गया है। इसका मेन कारण यह है, इसका आप एपिसेंटर देखिए, पूरा देश जानता है, युवाओं आप सब जानते हो कि इसका पहले एपिसेंटर मध्य प्रदेश हुआ करता था, वहां पे 40-50 लोगों की हत्या हुई थी, ये तब शुरू हुआ था। आप जानते हो कि गुजरात में, उत्तर प्रदेश में और मध्य प्रदेश में इन चीजों का एपिसेंटर है।
More than 24 students from different universities and members of various students' outfits were detained on Thursday while they were protesting against the cancellation of the UGC NET examination and irregularities in the NEET. The students were detained from outside the Ministry of Education as well as the Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan's residence here in central Delhi. A large number of students, including members of political outfits such as the Students' Federation of India, All India Students Association, Democratic Students Front, Krantikari Yuva Sangathan, and Congress-affiliated NSUI participated in the protest. The students gathered outside the Education Ministry and Pradhan's residence demanding a ban on the National Testing Agency, the body which conducts the examination, and a probe into the alleged paper leak. The Union Education Ministry late Wednesday night ordered the cancellation of UGCNet following inputs of the exam's integrity being compromised. Students who joined the protest were manhandled and assaulted by the police, the outfits alleged. Female students were heckled and manhandled brutally, said the SFI. Meanwhile, members of different student groups staged a protest outside the Lucknow University here against the central government over the cancellation of UGCNet exam, demanding resignation of the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. The students, mostly of the Samajwadi Chhatra Sangh and National Students Union of India, gathered outside Bhaurao Deora's Dwar of the Lucknow University and raised slogans against the Union Grants Commission, UGC, National Testing Agency, NTA, and the Union Education Ministry. Holding a placard demanding resignation of Pradhan, one of the protesters told the media.
मैं नहीं करेगा भाई, आप ट्राइपॉड से ले लो यार, ट्राइपॉड बहुत दिक्कत है।
Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav on Thursday hit out at the central government over cancellation of the UGCNet exam, saying the paper mafia is rigging exams under the BJP rule. The former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister said if the police recruitment exam is leaked, it will have a bearing on law and order, while if there is a fraud in the NEET exam, honest people will not become doctors. Likewise, the cancellation of the UGCNet exam will have a bearing on the education system. Under the BJP rule, the paper mafia is rigging every exam, one after the other. This could also be someone's big conspiracy against the country, Yadav charged on X. The Education Ministry on Wednesday ordered the cancellation of UGCNet conducted by the National Testing Agency following inputs that the integrity of the examination may have been compromised, and the matter has been handed over to the CBI for a thorough investigation. UGCNet is a test to determine the eligibility of Indian nationals for the award of Junior Research Fellowship, for appointment as assistant professors and admission to PhD in Indian universities and colleges. If the UGCNet exam is not held, the shortage of teachers that is already there will increase even more. The shortage of teachers will hinder the mental development of the country, which will prove to be very fatal for the country in the long run, Yadav added. Yadav said irregularities in exams should be thoroughly investigated under the supervision of the court and the culprits should be given the harshest punishment. The Supreme Court on Thursday sought responses from the Centre, the National Testing Agency, and others on a slew of petitions, including those seeking scrapping of the NEET UG 2024 exam and a court-monitored probe, amid mounting outrage over alleged irregularities in conducting the All India Medical Entrance Test. The Apex Court also stayed further proceedings on similar pleas pending before different high courts. The top court, however, made it clear that it will not stay the counselling process. A vacation bench of Justices Vikram Nath and SVN Bhatti issued notices to the parties seeking their responses on 4 separate pleas filed by the NTA seeking transfer of some pending petitions, including those claiming paper leak, from high courts to the Apex Court. As the bench issued notices on the NTS petitions, the council appearing for the testing agency urged it to stay the related proceedings before different high courts. The bench said all the pleas would be heard on 8 July. The bench, while refusing to stay the counseling exercise, said. When the bench asked the NTA's lawyer about the counseling, he said it will start on 6 July and continue for a few more days. The bench also issued notices to the center and the NTA seeking their responses on a plea by Sorting Hat Solutions PVT Ltd, which operates a platform for education services under the name Unacademy, seeking constitution of an independent committee to scrutinize the alleged irregularities and discrepancies in the results of NEET-UG 2024. In a setback to the Nitish Kumar government in Bihar, the Patna High Court on Thursday struck down its last year's decision to raise quotas for Dalits, backward classes and T1BILs from 50 to 65%. A division bench headed by Chief Justice K. Vinod Chandran passed the order on a bunch of petitions which had opposed the legislation brought by the state government in November 2023. The quotas were increased following a comprehensive survey of castes which gave a fresh estimate of the population of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes and extremely backward classes in Bihar. The Nitish Kumar government on 21 November last year issued Gazette notifications for raising the quota for deprived castes from 50 to 65% in state government jobs and educational institutions. On our plea that the amendments violated Articles 14, 16 and 20 of the Constitution, the court had reserved its judgment in March. Today, the court allowed the petitions, said Ritika Rani, one of the counsels who appeared on behalf of the petitioners. Left groups on Thursday staged a protest against the order to prosecute author Arundhati Roy and former Central University of Kashmir professor Sheikh Shaukat Hussain under the stringent Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Delhi LT Gunner VK Saxena, earlier last week, gave his sanction to prosecute Roy and Hussain for allegedly making provocative speeches at an event in 2010. Holding banners and posters demanding removal of the UAPA charge against the duo, scores of students and members of CPIML gathered here at Jantar Mantar to register their protest. All India Students Association also participated in the protest, which observed a Prativad Divas or Protest Day. On October 21, 2010, Roy and Hussain participated in a conference organized under the banner of Azadi the Only Way. According to Raj Nivas officials, the issues discussed and spoken about at the conference propagated the separation of Kashmir from India. The Telangana government on Thursday urged the centre to allocate all the coal blocks located near Singareni collieries to the state-run mining company without going through the auction process. Telangana Deputy Chief Minister Mallu Bhatti Vikramarka said the state government would meet Union Coal and Mines Minister G. Kishan Reddy, who is also the BJP state chief, with the request. There are also plans to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi with an all-party delegation, he added. Coal production is now going on in about 40 mines, and about 22 coal mines will have to be closed down by 2030 to 2033 as coal would be exhausted there, he said. There are estimates that the coal production would fall to 17.28 million tons by 2060 from the 70 million tons at present, he added. Singareni has to acquire new coal mines in the interest of its future, he said. Vikramarka's comments urging allotment to Singareni came a day ahead of the launch of auction of the coal mines to be held by the centre here on 21st June for commercial mining. The Singareni Collieries Company Limited (SCCL) is jointly owned by the Government of Telangana and Government of India on a 51-49 equity basis. Vikramarka, who spoke to reporters at Khammam, said that soon after the Congress government assumed office in December last year, he met then Union Coal Minister Prahlad Joshi with the request that all the coal blocks neighbouring Singareni be allotted to the state-run mining firm without auction. The SCCL, a major PSU firm in Telangana, employs 42,000 people directly, another 26,000 through outsourcing, and also provides livelihood opportunities to 50,000 people, he said. The SCCL is also a major source of revenue, he pointed out.
ఆ రోజు సంపూర్ణంగా మద్దతు ఇచ్చి బిల్లు పాస్ అయ్యేటట్టు చేసి ఆక్షన్ జరిగేటట్టుగా చేసి సింగరేణికి బొగ్గుబాయిలు లేకుండా చేసి ఇవాళ తగుదనమ్మా అని చెప్పి బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీకి సంబంధించిన నాయకత్వం మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంది. సింగరేణికి సంబంధించిన బొగ్గుబాయిల్ని మేమే కాపాడాం 10 ఏళ్ళు, కాంగ్రెస్ వాళ్ళు వచ్చి ఏం కాపాడలేస్తుంది ప్రభుత్వం అని చెప్తున్నారు. యాక్ట్లో మీరు సపోర్ట్ చేసి రాకుండా చేస్తారు. పోనీ మీరు ఈ 10 ఏళ్ళు ఈ బిల్లు తీసుకొచ్చి ఆ బిల్లు ద్వారానైనా ఇక్కడ ఈ పరిసర ప్రాంతాల్లో ఆక్షన్ జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు ఆక్షన్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి ఆ బొగ్గుబాయిలు ఏమన్నా మనకి సింగరేణికి వచ్చేటట్టు చేశారా? అది లేదు. ఇది ఆధారాలతో సహా చెప్తున్న, డేట్స్ తో సహా. నేను ఇక్కడ జరిగేటువంటి ఆక్షన్ సంబంధించి సింగరేణి కాలేజ్ సరే యాక్ట్ వచ్చింది, భారత పార్లమెంటు చట్టం తీసుకొచ్చింది, బొగ్గుబాయిల్లో ఆక్షన్ పెడతా ఉంది. మరి ఎవరైనా తెలియని వాడు ఆక్షన్ పెడతా ఉంటే చట్టం ప్రకారం వాళ్ళు చేస్తా ఉంటే తప్పనిసరి పరిస్థితి ఉత్పన్నం అయితే ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో నువ్వు ఆ బొగ్గుబాయిలు పోకుండా నువ్వే పార్టిసిపేట్ చేసి నువ్వు తెచ్చి పెట్టుకుంటావు. ఎందుకంటే నీ పరిస్థితి బాగాలేదుగా.
ఉద్దేశపూర్వకంగా జరుగుతున్న కుట్ర ఇది. దక్షిణ భారతదేశం మొత్తం గాఢాంధకారంలోకి పోయే పరిస్థితి ఆనాడు వచ్చిన విషయాన్ని నేను మీకు గుర్తు చేస్తా ఉన్నా. ఆనాడు కిరణ్ కుమార్ రెడ్డి గారు ముఖ్యమంత్రి, ఆయన పిలిచి బతిమలాడిన మమ్మల్ని అందరినీ, మీరు దయచేసి ఒప్పించండి, మీ బొగ్గుగని సంఘాన్ని ఒప్పియండి, దయచేసి వాళ్ళని విరమింపజేయండి. వారు ఆనాడు రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసినారు. ఎట్లయితే వైజాగ్ స్టీల్ ప్లాంట్ను ఖతం చేసినరో, క్యాప్టివ్ మైన్ ఇవ్వకుండా ఖతం చేసినరో, అదే ప్రయత్నం ఈరోజు కాంగ్రెస్ బీజేపీ కలిసి చేస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. ఇది తెలంగాణ ప్రజలు అర్థం చేసుకోవాలా.
The Enforcement Directorate on Thursday searched premises linked to Telangana BRS MLA Gudem Mahipal Reddy and his brother Gudem Madhusudan Reddy as part of an alleged illegal mining-linked money laundering case, official sources said. Mahipal Reddy represents the Patancheru seat in the State Assembly. About 7-8 premises, including the premises of a quarrying company linked to Madhusudan Reddy, are being searched, the sources said. The Enforcement Directorate case of money laundering stems from a state police FIR into alleged illegal mining. Madhusudan Reddy was arrested by the police in March as part of this investigation. The raids reinforced the criticism that the central agencies have been targeting the opposition parties and their leaders, the BRS said. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu on Thursday said he is in a dilemma over Amravati after taking stock of the stalled projects in the greenfield capital he had championed. He promised to soon release a white paper on the status of Amravati and elicit suggestions from people on the way forward. Amravati Capital City project came to a standstill from 2019 to 2024 under the previous YSRCP regime. However, the change in government breathed life into the capital city project as Naidu categorically declared that Amravati would be the sole capital of Andhra Pradesh. This is the first time the CM is visiting Amravati after assuming the office for the 4th term. The Chief Minister inspected several construction projects, such as the residential quarters for officials, legislators, judges and also the stalled High Court, Secretariat and other construction sites. The CM noted that up to 80% work on these projects was completed. According to the CM, had the Amravati city project gone ahead as planned, the road infrastructure would have come up by now. Naidu asserted that Amravati is the address of 5 crore people of the state and termed it as people's capital, which can show direction to all. Noting that nearly 55,000 acres of land bank is available in Amravati from all sources, he thanked the farmers for giving up their lands for the state capital.
ఒక వైట్ పేపర్ పబ్లిసైజ్ చేసి ప్రజల అందరూ కూడా చర్చించుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. నేను ముందే చెప్పాను, ఇది ఏ ఒక్కరి కోసమో కట్టే రాజధాని కాదు, ఇది ప్రజా రాజధాని, భావితరాల భవిష్యత్తు కోసం రాజధాని, తెలుగు జాతి గర్వంగా తలెత్తుకుని తిరిగే రాజధానిగా ఉండాలి. అదే సమయంలో ఇక్కడ అమరావతి రాజధాని వస్తుందంటే విశాఖపట్నాన్ని ఆర్థిక రాజధానిగా తయారు చేయాలని, కర్నూలుని ఒక మోడర్న్ సిటీగా ఆధునికమైన నగరంగా తయారు చేయాలని, అదే మాదిరిగా అన్ని జిల్లా హెడ్ క్వార్టర్స్ కూడా ఏమేం చేస్తాం చాలా స్పష్టంగా చెప్పాం. ఈ రాజధాని పైన బురజల్లే ప్రయత్నం చేశారు, నిత్యం విష ప్రచారం చేశారు, అమరావతిని బ్రాండ్ దెబ్బతీయడానికి ప్రయత్నం చేశారు. శివరామకృష్ణ కమిటీ చాలా స్పష్టంగా సెంట్రల్ ప్లేస్ లో ఎక్కడైనా పెట్టండి అని చెప్పారు. 12 పార్లమెంట్లు ఒక పక్క వస్తాయి, ఇంకొక పక్క 12 పార్లమెంట్లు వస్తాయి. గుంటూరు సెంట్రల్లో ఉంటుంది. ఎలిమెంటరీ స్కూల్ చదివే పిల్లవాడిని చెప్పినా ఎక్కడ మీ రాజధాని ఉండాలంటే ఈ ప్రాంతమని మ్యాప్లో చూపించే విధానం ఇది.
Benchmark equity indices Sensex and Nifty soared to new lifetime highs on Thursday, fueled by intense buying in market heavyweights Reliance, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank amid a recent surge in foreign capital inflows. Besides, stable global crude prices extended support to capital markets amid investors looking for fresh triggers, traders said. Rallying for the 6th straight session, the 30-share BSE Sensex climbed 141.34 points or 0.18% to settle at a new closing peak of 77,478.93. During the day, it surged 305.5 points or 0.39% to 77,643.09. As many as 20 to 82 stocks advanced while 1,571 declined and 128 remained unchanged on the BSE. The BSE benchmark has jumped 1,022.34 points or 1.33% in the last 6 days. The NSE Nifty rose 51 points or 0.22% to settle at its fresh closing high of 23,567. Intraday, it soared 108 points or 0.45% to 23624. Foreign institutional investors have been net buyers in Indian equities for the last 3 days and have bought 12,600 crore rupees, which includes a few large block deals. On the domestic front, the market is consolidating with a positive bias amid strong FII flows and healthy macros. Also, an expectation of a growth-focused budget is aiding sentiments and is likely to lead to sector-specific action, said Siddhartha Khemka, Head, Retail Research, Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Among the 30 Sensex companies, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Axis Bank, Reliance Industries, ICICI Bank, Hindustan Unilever, Kotak Mahindra Bank and Asian Paints were among the biggest gainers. In contrast, Mahindra and Mahindra, Sun Pharma, NTPC, Wipro, State Bank of India and Power Grid were among the laggards. Telecommunication, utilities, auto, power and tech were the laggards. Foreign institutional investors bought equities worth 7,908.36 crore rupees on Wednesday, according to exchange data. Gold prices jumped 120 rupees to 72,550 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital on Thursday amid strong trends globally. The precious metal had ended at 72,430 rupees per 10 grams in the previous session. Silver prices also surged 900 rupees to 92,300 rupees per kg. It had settled at 91,400 rupees per kg on Wednesday. In Delhi markets, Spot gold prices 24 carats are trading at 72,550 rupees per 10 grams, up by 120 rupees from the previous close. In the international markets, spot gold at COMEX was trading at US $2,332 per ounce, up US $5 from the previous close. Gold prices remained positive as US participants returned from the Juneteenth holiday with a buying sentiment. This was driven by weak retail sales data and lower inflation figures. Additionally, silver was quoting higher at US $30.15 per ounce. In the previous session, it had closed at US $29.40 per ounce. The bullion was also supported by a rise in safe haven demand due to the Middle East tension and political uncertainty in France. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.